Hope everyone's having a blessed evening. I am having a blessed evening. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So I'm back with another good one. But I'm back with also a sad one, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is a sad one is because today, right? I was at New York City Council office today as being one of the victims of Spofford Juvenile Detention Center. And it's not easy as victims, right? It's not easy as victims to talk about your encounters and to relive these certain traumas and depressions and anxiety of being sexually assaulted and being abused. It's not an easy task, right? And as you can see in the video, what I'm about to show you is that you have some brave women and men amongst New Yorkers that stepped up and that was victims and abused and taken advantage of by the juvenile detention centers, where that these detention centers, right, is breeding grounds for predators of raping and abusing and beating children senselessly, and knowing that it's going to be swept underneath the rug, and you have to deal with the traumas and depression, and also having problems with your relationships, having problems with your children, in and out of these systems, not trying, you can't figure a way out to get it right. You just can't get it right. And you blaming everybody for the misfortune of your innocence of being taken. You blaming your parents, you blaming society, you blaming New York, you blaming everybody, right? For those that's supposed to have protect you and lift you up, they was there to take advantage of you. So, your guys, what you can do, right? If you are able, right, you can go on New York City Council, right? Council, right? And go on live. Examine the accuracy of domestic and gender-based violent data in New York City, right? And that's on Facebook. You can go on Facebook and you can look at that. You also can go on www.amnewyork.com news. You're going to see a picture of me there. They got pictures of me. They got pictures of everybody that was in the New York City Council office today, voicing their opinions and their sorrow about a system that failed them, and that they still right now got to deal with traumas and depression. And we not looking for money. We looking to protect the next victim. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. And if you was in Spofford, back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, you know the abuse, the sexual abuse that was going on. You know the beatings that was going on. And if you know, they had them blue shorts and them yellow shirts. If you know, I was crying today, choking up, but I am a victim. It was a lot of victims in the court today, right? And everybody was talking about their traumas and depression of them being sexually assaulted, and people that got money in these facilities, they're sweeping everything underneath the rug. People actually want to kill themselves. People actually get strung out on drugs and never return. Do you know all the victims that's dead and gone? They don't have a voice. They dead and gone. Just because somebody took advantage of them, sexually abused them, sexually assault them, you know? And like I said, you can go check that out on Facebook. New York City Council. You know, I was there in the office today. I was all the way in the back. You couldn't really see me. I was in the back, right? But I'm in part one. You can see in part one. Go check out part one. I was there. You can see the councilwoman that was there and people that was on the council of city of New York City. You know, people was voicing their opinion, man. And it's so much going on, so many victims, and it took courage for us to stand up, just to go there to tell our stories and to relive this. You know, it's sad. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show. I'll probably show 2 clippings, right? I'm gonna show 2 clippings.
I was 14 years old when I went to Spofford Juvenile Detention. Okay, I'm sorry. When I was there, I was abused by staff members, people who were supposed to protect us and guide us. Instead, they took advantage of us. Juvenile detention centers are hunting ground for predators that disguise themselves as civil servants. The boys that were detained along with myself were victimized by adults knowing they had the law on their side. So I'm here to ask that let the law be on our side. I understand that data is needed to help analyze and find a solution, but the trauma given didn't need a vote or data collection. Give our hurt a voice. Hear what we went through and see the negative outcome for a lot of us.
Good morning, my name is Jason Moore. I'm 63 years old, but I still carry the pain of what happened to me as a child. I was abused when I was in a juvenile detention center and also at the hands of the Catholic Archdiocese. A place that I thought would keep me safe. Instead, it became a place where I lost my childhood. The people who hurt me had complete control over me and had no way to escape. The trauma that has stayed with me my entire life, there were times that I didn't want to live anymore. I tried to take my own life more than once, and I couldn't see a way out of the pain. No child should ever have felt this hopelessness, especially one who was supposed to have been protected. When the Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act revival window opened, it gave me something I hadn't had before, hope. Hope that I could finally be heard, hope that I could get some justice, not just from the people who hurt me, but from the system that allowed it to happen. Now that the hope is slipping away again because of a court decision that limits the survivors who should be held accountable. That's why this bill, Intro 1297 matter. It gives survivors like me a fair chance to seek justice, to have our voices counted. I'm not looking for revenge or money. I just want acknowledgement to know that what happened to me was wrong and that it will never happen again to another child. Please pass this Intro 1297. It's not just about changing the law. It's about restoring hope and dignity for all of us. Thank you.
These are some of the hundreds of victims all around New York City and other cities that was in these juvenile detention centers, and these predators and these monsters there sexually abused them and took advantage of them. It's very hard as a man to get up and talk about your traumas and depression and how someone penetrated you. It takes a lot to do that. It takes a lot. And this man is 63 years old. He's a friend of mine. Me and him kicked it right away. Me and him kicked it off. and I got his number, and we was talking, you know, and I met a lot of other victims of the Spofford situation that was beaten and sexually assaulted, and it was kicked underneath the rug for years and years and years and years. You know, he's 63. You know, and he brought up the Roman Catholic Church that took his innocence. They took a lot of boys' innocence. They supposed to be protecting us, teaching us, stirring you for not to do wrong, but over there they taking advantage and beating you half to death and sexually assaulting you on top of it. You know, and this is a sad situation, man. This is a sad situation, you know. And I hope and pray that more victims come out. I know that it takes a lot. It takes a lot. But for those that don't want to talk and never told their wives or their partner what happened to them, you know, victims like us can you know, talk up. We your voice. The voice that you don't have, we your voice. Because we learn how to cope with the pain and the suffering and trauma. We took it and turned it into success. It's not about money. It's about protecting the next victim, the next child of being abused, sexually abused. You know? And this is what this was about. Going to the city council office. Being there, you know? This is my visiting pass right here. See it? It's my visiting pass. I was there, you know? This represents right here. This is the bowl of being a victim. This is what this is right here. And this is sad, man. You know, this is sad. Anyone that knows about them blue shorts and that yellow shirt, they know. Get in my comments. Get in my comments, you know? And like I said, you can go on Facebook Live, New York City Council Office, right? And you can look up examining the accuracy of domestic and gender-based violence data in New York City. You know, you can look that up and you can see the whole thing, right? Now, I'm going to be in the corner in the right. You can't really see. I'm in the corner in the right. All you see is this right here. But if you look in the right, I'm up there in the corner. So, you know, I was happy I was there. I was happy that had courage to go there as a victim. Being in Spofford, you know, and it's sad, man. It's sad, you know. It's sad. There's a lot of victims that's not here. They not here. They can't tell a story. They dead and gone. Because that gentleman just talked about he tried to kill himself and tried to commit suicide. How about the many other victims that actually is dead and gone, that used drugs, that got killed in the street because they couldn't deal with the being sexually assaulted, in and out relationships, not getting it right, you know? So their life was damaged forever. And this is why we are here, to stop it. So we need everybody all around, man, to, you know, just to voice their opinion, to get this bill passed, to protect victims and children, right? Because we all know that these institutions and money can buy any and everybody. We know that. And what about the victim? You know? So this what that was about. And this is part 2, you know? I just want to share that with your guys. And your guys have an amazing evening, you know? It wasn't easy. It was not easy, man. It wasn't easy getting up there. You know? It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. But we did it. We had to find the courage, the wisdom, and God blessing to go up there to talk our story, you know? And I was crying today. I was crying today, you know? And you guys have an amazing evening. Peace, y'all. Peace. Peace.